What's up everybody, once again my name is Matt and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past. In the last episode we finished up Turtle Rock and got ourselves the 20th heart container. In this episode, well, we're gonna go directly to Ganon's tower, but first there's some last minute things that I would like to take care of, so in order to save us all a little bit of time, I'm just going to cut and I'll meet you guys back here when I'm in Kakariko, so see you in a quick second. Alright, so now that we're here in Kakariko, we're gonna go and do these last minute things. First and foremost, I want to max out my quiver so I can carry 70 arrows. Now to do this, we need some extra cash. So I could go and play some mini games or farm off some enemies, but it just so happens that there is a secret room in this game that contains the money that we need. Now I guarantee you, some of you guys will have probably heard of this room, but a lot of you guys probably have never been to this room or maybe even never seen this room, so it should be kind of fun. Now, thing is, to access this room, we do need to pull off a glitch in the game, and normally I don't show off glitches in my LPs, but this is going to be an exception because, well, this was technically supposed to be in the game to begin with. Anyways, though, yeah, if you dash into the backside of that tree, we can stand right up here, grab ourselves our bombs, and these bombs should knock us back, sending us falling below. And hopefully, if we've done this right, we'll end up in this room with 45 blue rupees on the ground. So, there is a rather fascinating story behind this room, and I'll talk about that in a quick second. For now, though, let's just collect all the money. And you'll also notice there is one of those telepathic stones in this room, and that one gives us a very unique message. So, let's check it out. My name is Chris Houlihan. This is my top secret room. Keep it between us, okay? Yeah, don't go telling anybody, guys. Now, what's also cool about this room is that when we exit, we'll actually leave from Link's house, which is pretty helpful. Anyways, though, on to the legend of the Chris Houlihan room. So, back in October of 1990, Nintendo Power was holding a contest in which they would randomly select a winner, and they would get their name programmed in a future, at the time, NES game. Now, the requirements were to take a photo of you encountering Warmech in Final Fantasy and then send it to Nintendo Power. So, obviously, the winner of this contest was Chris Houlihan, but I guess it just took so long for Nintendo to fulfill the reward that, they ended up programming his name into a Super Nintendo game, and of course, that ended up being Link to the Past. And if I found out that I would get my name in a future Zelda game forever, I would be so ecstatic, but it's kind of weird because this room cannot be accessed by normal means. You can only do it when you perform a glitch that causes an error in Link's Y coordinate and then enter a different, like, room by falling down a hole or something like that. And then the game sort of triggers a failsafe and throws you into the Chris Houlihan room. So I'm kind of curious if, like, Nintendo even told Chris that this room was in the game, because it seems like it was meant to never be found, and I'm not sure when it was originally found, but I didn't hear about this room until like the early 2000s, you know, online, so it must have been even less known back in the days of the early internet, because obviously in 2000s, that's when it was starting to take off in popularity, and, you know, more people were using it and stuff like that, but, you know, back in the day when this game originally came out, everything would have been done through magazines or word of mouth, so it's kind of bittersweet. Like, if I was Chris, I would have told everyone I knew that my name was in a Zelda game. Anyways, though, I'm going to continue throwing rupees into this fountain, that way we can max out our quiver, and I'll see you guys when I'm done. So, see you in a second. Alright, so this should be the last time I have to throw rupees into this pond, and hello, great fairy, so please give me the last 10 arrows. There we go. Now, we have 70, which is the maximum, so now that that is done, let's get out of here. And there's one more stop that I want to make before we go back up to Death Mountain and make our way towards Ganon's tower, and that is to number 2 here on our map, because that's right in front of the potion shop. And, well, for Ganon's tower, I actually want to bring this potion along with me. This is the Magic Cure-All Medicine. Basically, it will restore all of our hearts and all of our magic, so very, very helpful, especially since Ganon's tower is pretty lengthy, and, well, trust me, you're gonna want something like that. Anyways, I'll meet you guys once we're back on Death Mountain. Alright, so we're back on the Dark World version of Death Mountain, right next to Turtle Rock, and now it's time to go and find Ganon's tower. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, it's actually right to our left. Surprisingly enough, we've never actually been in this area in the Dark World, so yeah, we got some new enemies, these weird like centaur horse people. You can't hurt them with your sword lasers, which is weird, so you actually do need to approach them, and thankfully our mirror shield can, block all of their weapons, but you do want to be careful since they can deal some damage to you if you're not careful. And there we go, at least we're back up at full HP. And oh yeah, there is one more that we gotta fight. I think it's funny how they sort of back away from you when you get close to them. Alright, so there we go. We should be in the clear, and this glowing tower is Ganon's tower. So let's go right up to the center, and Link, we're gonna break the barrier of Ganon's tower with our power. Oh boy, so the maidens plus Zelda have come together, and yeah, there's no music in this part for some reason, but they do their thing, and now the entrance to Ganon's tower is right in front of us. So I hope you guys are ready, because we're going right inside. Let's take this on. So like I said before, Ganon's tower is a little bit of a doozy. It's not like too confusing, it's just that they throw a lot at you, and there's a lot of like really dumb rooms that are just designed to eat up your heart. So yeah, I guess my best advice, and as lame as this is gonna sound, would be just to be careful, because this dungeon will test your limits, like in terms of, managing your magic or managing your hearts, and it is kinda confusing. Like, there's a lot of areas where you just don't need to go, or there's rooms that are just solely set up to confuse you. So just be careful, think things through, and try and get through here without too much trouble. Like, I'm gonna try and get through here as fast as I possibly can, because I do know the layout and the solution to all the puzzles. But that being said, there probably will be some instances where I'm just gonna do something stupid or take a lot of unnecessary damage, which, if you've been a long time fan of the channel, should not surprise you, because I kinda do that a lot, especially when playing Zelda games. Like, it took me 3 years to realize that people don't like it when I don't use the shield, and I typically never use the shield, so I mean, fair warning guys, like, I'm pretty dumb when it comes to Zelda. That being said, in this room, be a little bit careful. All you want to do is take this block, push it to the left, and now that chest has appeared, we can... Okay, wait, that went by me already and didn't hurt me, then it came back and hurt me? What kind of nonsense is that, game? Come on, man. Alright, so this room, yeah, make sure you go into the teleporter to the right. Then what you want to do here is sneak past this first teleporter, go to the one on the left, and again, just go into the left teleporter. If you go in like any other teleporters, they'll just take you all around that area and just confuse you and you'll get lost. So right, left, left, that is a combination that you want to take. Trust me on that one. And these next teleporters literally have no point, because you go from this room to this room, which you actually don't even go into again, and then you immediately go back. So why are those there? I have no idea. I guess they're just there to waste your time. Alright, so in this room, let's actually try and get rid of some of these enemies. Most of them, if we can, because, oh, especially this guy. Get rid of him as quickly as you can. There you go. And now be careful over here and only remove the top skull, because I'm going to be using the bottom skull in just a second here once we get rid of this guy. There we go. So yeah, obviously those enemies were on an invisible platform, so we want to see where we can walk. So easiest way to do that is by taking out our fire rod, not our hook shot, lighting that torch, and quickly, while it's in the air, grab your hook shot, go down here, and now we can run our way across this platform. So yeah, you can save yourself a little bit of time just by doing that, and hopefully we can make it through here without falling off, and before that torch, extinguishes. So there we go, made it just in time, and now all we have to do here is just go into this area. But let me grab some magic powder so I can refill my HP. And just bomb this floor, because we're going to fall down the hole that appears right when that is done. It's kind of funny that Ganon has all these statues of like him holding the Triforce all over the place. It's like, dude, come on, you're a little full of yourself. But yeah, now we have to fight some bosses that we've already seen. So this is the boss of the very first temple that we were in, the Eastern Palace. But now that we have our silver arrows and, you know, we're fully upgraded, it's really not hard to take on these reused bosses. There's actually a couple of reused bosses. All three of, like, the first temples we will be refighting the bosses of in Ganon's Tower, so look forward to that. Anyways, we got ourselves the big key and some extra pickups that we really didn't need, but now that we got those, let's just make our way to the left here and curse this icy floor, man! It makes it so hard to navigate. Come on, just get in there, Link. There we go. Alright, now, yeah, if you bomb that cracked wall, it will take you to an area with 4 fairies, but we're already good on HP, so let's just head up here and check it out, guys. There's the big chest, so let's open this up and get ourselves the red mail. This provides even better protection than the blue mail, so I think this is, like, up to 75% protection now, which is pretty awesome. Now that we got that, though, we're basically done with the entire left side of the dungeon, so let's head up to the middle, because the right side is entirely useless and I'm not gonna bother heading down there. Now, thankfully for us, the, left side of the temple is generally considered the harder part of the temple, although, I guess that is debatable, because this side is also fairly difficult. I probably will make use of my magic cape just a little bit, because there's a couple of rooms where you can easily avoid damage by using it, so I might do that. This room is actually super annoying on the SNES version, because I think on the GBA port, again, they switched these enemies from, like, the Mimic type to the normal, just, like, green versions of these enemies, so it's actually easier to take them out on the Game Boy Advance port. There we go. Alright, I'm, like, super bad at dealing with those enemies in that room, so kinda had to concentrate just a little bit, but now we should be in the clear, and a majority of the rooms in this section of the temple are just, hey, here's a bunch of enemies, kill them all, have fun, and it's like, come on, man, like, give me a break. It's just enemy after enemy after enemy, and it does get old and repetitive after a while. Up here, hit the switch, quickly go to the center skull, hit that button, then run the heck away, and if you can time this right, yeah, you can block most of the spike traps on the other side. And whoa, that one's like glitched inside a block. That's kind of weird, actually. Alright, so yeah, now that we press that switch, let's exit to the right. And this is where you're going to want to make use of your magic cape, because, yeah, these cannonballs are really hard to dodge, but we can just cape right through them. Now, behind us, I forget exactly how you get there. I know that you have to dash, hit those blocks, and the bounce back of your dash will actually send you to that platform, but I'm not exactly sure how to perform a dash like that. But that area behind you does contain a fairies fountain, if memory serves me well. Thankfully, we're pretty high on HP, so we don't really need it. Like, we still have our cure-all, so we should be fine for the most part. Like, I'm not too worried about losing a whole lot of HP, but there are plenty more rooms to come, and I'm not playing too hot right now, so I may need to use that fairly soon. I kind of want to avoid using any fairies if I can, just because I want to save those, although there will be a short area where we can take a break, like between this area and when we go and take on Ganon, so if we need to, we can go and, like, restock on potions and fairies and stuff like that. But let's try and avoid doing that if we can. And come on, dude. There we go. Just die already. Jeez. And this is what I mean by, like, just enemy gauntlet room after enemy gauntlet room, because they just progressively get more and more annoying by adding lasers and fireballs and ice physics. And it's just like, stop. Just please stop doing this. Alright, you know what, let's avoid that stupid thing, that way we don't turn into a bunny, because I think we're actually about to fight another boss. Yeah, here we go. So this is the boss of the Desert Palace, although now that we have the Cane of Brino, we can just, like, turn that on, and because it makes us invincible and also does damage, we can just stand, like, right where these guys spawn, and it does a crap ton of damage to them as soon as they come up. So already, one of the worms is gone. Now, this does eat up our magic, but hey, you know what? I'd rather have, like, a quick kill on all these guys and not take any damage than have a lot of magic, since we don't really need a whole lot of magic, at least right now. Plus, I think, yeah, there's some magic in this room that we can use to refill our meter just a tad. Not a whole lot of restocks, to be honest, but enough to get us through. And oh yeah, there's this room again. Alright, so let's grab Ether real quick and wait for these guys to fully appear. Then we can use Ether, and that should kill them as well as reveal that pathway. So thankfully they're gone, and we can safely navigate through this room. Not bad. Alright, so here let's just dash through these enemies to avoid those lasers, and yeah, we can pretty much just leave this room. And oh yay, more wizards. Thankfully I still had this equipped, so guess what? They're all dead now. Hooray! Man, I kind of wish they would drop more hearts. Like, every wizard in that room with the invisible floor dropped a heart, but of course not the ones in here. Oh yeah, by the way, run through here because the floor will start disappearing, but yeah, other than that, you can just like pretty much walk through that room. Alright, so, you know what? I think we are gonna have to make use of our cure-all because we're a little bit low on magic, and we need to light every single torch in this room. So, yeah, kind of a shame we had to pop that now, but I guess it's better late than never. Also, of course, there's magic right there, but I really don't think that would have been enough. If there's, like, more magic, then maybe I probably would have had to pop it, but, I don't know that there's actually any more magic in this room. Oh, there's the small one, but yeah, again, probably wouldn't have been enough considering I want to use my fire rod 4 times, and I think that's going to use quite a bit of magic. Yeah, so no way would those 2 pots have covered it all. Actually, they might have, but yeah, whatever. We already popped it, so not that big of a deal. Yeah, try and make your way in here as fast as you can because obviously if those torches extinguish, the door will close. Same thing over here too, so yeah, we did need the magic in order to be able to light all of these torches. And now let's just move on before the floor goes away completely. And just to make my life easier, let's go ahead and use bombos to get rid of those 2 annoying enemies in front of me. I'm not even sure what those are. They might be dodongos, but I don't think they are. And whatever. Those 2 chests in the upper right and left hand corners don't really contain anything useful. They're just restock items, so we're gonna ignore them and just head right on through here. Now in this room, what you want to do is grab your bombs and chuck one down these conveyor belts, and I waited way too long to do it that time. But you want to land like in the center of that wall, that way it blows up that crack. And let's be safe about this and use our magic cape, that way we can avoid taking damage from the giant spike thing in there. And now we're safe. And if I time this right, I can hopefully get the anti-fairy on the outside. That way, I can just use my magic powder, and we can be back to full HP. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Alright, so let's go here and get this chest that contains a small key. And I just realized, since we did get that extra spare key, I really didn't even need that chest because I'm pretty sure that is the last locked door in this entire dungeon. Anyways, though, here is our final repeat boss. It's Smoldorm, or whatever this guy is called. So yeah, with our newly upgraded sword, well, guess what? This guy is kind of easy because he only takes 2 hits. And there we go, he's already done. Now, if you do fall down, you'll land in a floor directly below this one, and you can just like go to the right, and there's a stairwell that'll take you right back up here. So it's not really that big of a deal if you fall, it's just a minor inconvenience. That being said though, guess what guys? We're basically done. There's like maybe 1 more room that we have to go through, so again, let's grab our cape and just try and avoid this early damage. And hopefully we can run through here and make our way up these stairs. There we go. And guess what? That's it, guys. There's nothing on this floor but the entrance to the boss. So, hope you guys are ready. Let's do this thing. And oh, hey, it's Ganon again. What's up? Ho, ho, ho. It's great that you could come all this way here, Link. I'm very happy to see you again, but you'd better believe that we will not have a third meeting. Prepare to meet your doom. Yeah, bring it on, man. Alright, so what you want to do is follow the one with the darker shadow and just reflect the magic beams back at him. So pretty similar to the first fight. Since he does have like 2 shadow clones, it actually gives you multiple times to hit him like per attack. So you can actually finish this fight in like 2 cycles if you reflect every single thing back at him. So, he should be done fairly soon, like maybe one more hit, and Ganon will be done with. Yeah, so he's really easy this time around. Goodbye, buddy. And oh my gosh, look, guys, it's Ganon. Oh, he was a bat the whole time. Well, Ganon is apparently a vampire. Who knew? And wait a minute, I know that song, Pelican Buddy. How'd you get to the Dark World? Were you here the whole time? How come you never came when I used the flute in the Dark World before? Man, what a jerk. Anyways, though, now we're back on top of the pyramid, and if we jump down, we'll go and fight Ganon, but I think we need a little bit of a break, so that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.